Greetings, gentle people of YouTube. SimCaesar here. It's been a very long time since I've uploaded a video to YouTube, and if you're wondering where I've been, well, I was trapped under a large owl. Nah, that's not true. I've been live streaming over on Twitch. One of the things I love about live streaming on Twitch is there is an amazing flight sim community over there. If you have a problem or a question or you don't know how to do something, it seems like there's always somebody around that does, and they can either tell you how to do it or point you in the right direction, that kind of thing. And I was doing a live stream the other day, and I was lamenting over the fact that I really don't like the camera system that came with Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think it's overcomplicated, it's a little clunky, it's difficult to figure out, and it doesn't really do what I want it to do. For all its visual glory, I think Microsoft Flight Simulator could have done better with the camera system. And I was saying X-Plane's camera system I love. It's simple, it's easy to figure out, it does everything I want to do, quick and easy. And one feature in particular that I miss in Microsoft Flight Simulator was a flyby view. X-Plane, you just hit Shift 2 and you get a beautiful flyby view, works every time, no problem. And Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't have a flyby view at all. So one of the folks watching the live stream said, hey, SimCaesar, you can use the drone camera if you set it up in a particular way. You can use it to do a flyby view. So he kind of explained to me what I needed to do. I tried it there on the stream, and I was able to get kind of a flyby view, a pretty good one. And so I tried to set it up again. Second try didn't really work. The camera didn't point at the plane. It was going all over the place. And then, so I tried it again. And every time I was trying to set up the flyby view, it was hit or miss as to whether it would work. And it was required a lot of setup to try to get it working correctly. So after the live stream, I set out to find a way to quickly and easily set up the drone cam for a consistently nice flyby view. And I did come up with a little technique that I'm going to show you here today. I can't help but think that there's a better way to do this out there somewhere, and if there is, I couldn't find it. I did a lot of searching the web and searching YouTube and searching flight sim forums, and I couldn't find a better way to do a flyby view. I figured somebody would have come up with some utility or something like that, or just some kind of technique to do this. I couldn't find it, so I'll show you what I came up with here today. So the bad news is that if you want to do a flyby view, you're going to have to be able to manipulate the drone cam, which I think is, like I said earlier, kind of clunky. A lot of people use an Xbox controller to manipulate the drone cam. I used to do that. I just got tired of having to take my hands off the keyboard and go and pick up the controller and, okay, well, I'm using the controller, now where do I set it down? Like, my desk is messy. Anyway, I wanted to be able to manipulate the drone cam solely with the keyboard. That's how I do it in X-Plane, and so I went and reconfigured my key bindings so that I could control the drone cam exclusively with the keyboard. What you see on the screen now is how my key bindings are set up. For the most part, these are not default Microsoft Flight Simulator key bindings. I have these set up similar to the way that they're set up in X-Plane. That way I don't have to, try to remember what my key bindings are when I switch sims, that kind of thing. This is not a tutorial on how to set up key bindings or how to manipulate the drone cam. You're going to have to figure that out for yourself. But if you want to match my key bindings, that's up to you. If you want to put your own key bindings in there. If you want to use an Xbox controller, this technique should work with an Xbox controller. I have another friend that uses a second joystick to manipulate the drone cam. Again, entirely up to you, but what you see on the screen right now are the drone commands you will need to do the flyby view. All right, we're in the Cessna 172 flying over beautiful Southern California. I picked this aircraft for a couple of reasons. First, when you're learning to set up the flyby cam, it's a little easier if you're flying with a slower aircraft. And secondly, the 172 has an autopilot. The flyby cam is much easier to set up when the aircraft is flying straight and level. So pick an aircraft that's a little on the slower side and has an autopilot where you can set it to fly straight and level, at least while you're learning to set up the flyby cam. The first thing I'm going to do is bring up the camera window. This will allow you to see what settings I'm changing while I'm changing them. You can also manipulate some of the controls you need for the flyby cam in the camera window. If you've got your key binding set up, you don't have to do that. But this will give you a visual representation of what I'm doing when I'm hitting a key binding, so you can see exactly what's going on. Next thing we want to do is switch to drone camera mode. There we go. If this is the first time you've switched to drone camera view in your flight sim session, it's probably in the reset position already. I have a button set up to reset the drone camera position. You can also click on it, reset position up here in the camera window. So let me just hit the button. We'll reset the cam. That puts the drone camera directly behind the aircraft, a little slightly above it. So that's what we need. The next thing you want to do is switch on drone lock mode. I have a key binding set up for that. You can click the little switch here in the camera window. But let me use my key binding. Okay, drone lock mode is on. Next thing you want to do is change the increase the drone speed. Now again, I have a key binding set up for that. You can drag the drone speed slider here in the window if you want. Let me go ahead and use my key binding. It doesn't have to be all the way on full. It just and in fact, you don't have to change the drone speed at all. It just makes it much easier if the drone speed is faster. So there we are. Next thing you want to do is move the drone straight forward. So I'm going to do that here. Move it to about right there. That should be good for this flyby view. The final thing you need to do is turn off the drone follow mode. Again, you can just click this button right here, or if you've got a key binding, use that. I've got a key binding. I'm going to use that right now. Here we go. And there you go. Now, we were directly in front of the aircraft, so that the flyby, I kind of like them a little bit over on the side a little bit, so you can see the side of the aircraft when it's flying by. Let's try that right now. Let me show you what else you can do here. So let's reset the drone position. Now, notice when I reset the drone position, the drone speed, all these settings get set back to default. I don't know why they do it that way. It makes it a little bit annoying, but just be mindful of that. You're going to have to change the drone speed and the other settings again. So let me reset the drone. There we go. Now, first thing we want to do is turn on drone lock mode. All right. I'm going to increase the... Oh, let me show you a little trick that I use when I do this. You can move the camera forward and increase the drone speed at the same time. Just hold down both key bindings and do it that way. That'll save you a little time. You don't have to set the drone speed, then move the camera forward. So I'm going to do these at the same time now. There we go. That's about where I want it. And the next thing I'm going to do is move the camera just a little bit to the right here. A little bit more. There we go. That should work. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. We'll try that. You can also zoom in. If you move the camera far out, maybe zoom in and then zoom out when the aircraft is moving towards you. All right, the last step to initiate the flyby view is to turn off drone follow mode. Here it goes. There you go. Nice little flyby view. Now let me show you one more trick you can do to enhance your flyby cam excitement. The way Asobo has the drone camera set up, you can't manipulate the aircraft and the drone camera at the same time. You have to hit a key to toggle between the two of them. So especially if you're not flying with autopilot turned on, if you want to manipulate the aircraft, you have to toggle between the drone camera mode and the aircraft control mode. So let me do that. And first thing I want to do here, let me jump back into the aircraft and I'll turn off the autopilot so that I'll be able to control the aircraft. There we go. Now I want to make sure it's all, yeah, it's trimmed up for straight and level here. That's what we want. Even though the autopilot's turned off, it's still it's pretty stable. It should hold straight and level here. So let me see. We're going to go to drone mode and then reset the drone position. Turn on drone lock mode. Now I'm going to move the camera forward and simultaneously increase the drone speed. The aircraft is turning a little bit now that the autopilot is off. That's okay. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit more here. All right, so I'm going to zoom the camera in. Now I'm going to turn off drone follow mode. The flyby view will commence. And I'm going to hit the key binding so that I'm able to control the aircraft. Here it goes. I think the default is the C key. That's what I have mine bound to. And now I'm able to control the aircraft in the flyby view. That's really cool. Look at that. And you could actually just leave the flyby view turned on. And if you want to get aggressive with the controls, you can just fly the aircraft around the drone cam and have some fun that way. Kind of like you're flying on a radio-controlled aircraft or something like that. That's a lot of fun. There you go. How about that? There's a lot of fun you can have with this. Once you get the camera set up, you can move it up or down or left or right, position it wherever you want it. Once you get the hang of the basic technique, there's different things you can do. Now, I will say that this is not as easy as an X-plane, where all you have to do is hit Shift 2 and you've got a nice pre-made flyby view. But it is what it is. Maybe Sobo will someday add a flyby view, a one-key flyby view into Microsoft Flight Simulator, so we don't have to do these extra steps to get a flyby view. In the meantime, this will give you something. You can have fun with this. It works really well with replay utilities like Flight Recorder, that kind of thing. You can manipulate the camera, set it up a little bit better, and do what you want with it. I have a Logitech keyboard that has macro keys in it, and I've actually set up a macro key so that I can do all of this in one step. If you've got a macro utility you like to use, you might want to try that to set up a single key flyby view, have it do all these steps for you. I've heard the Stream Deck also has a plugin that you can use to set up macros that would work with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So yeah, a lot of things. You got the basics here, gives you a foundation to work with, and you can experiment on your own and see what you come up with. Like I said at the top of the video, there's probably better ways to do this, but I couldn't figure out what they are. If you know a better way to do this, or if you've used the techniques I've shown you here and improved on them, please leave a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear what people are doing, or if you've come up with a better way to do a flyby view, I'd love to hear about that. There's a bookmark feature in the drone cam that seems like that might be a good way to set the camera up in a preset position for the flyby and eliminate some steps. I couldn't get it to work. It seems like the bookmark resets itself every time I switch on drone follow mode or drone lock mode. My bookmarks go away, so not sure how to do that. If you figure that out, let me know. In the meantime, thanks for watching, everybody. Once again, I'm streaming over on Twitch 5 days a week. It's a lot of fun over there. We have a great community. Please come by Twitch and give the channel a follow. I may make some more YouTube videos here coming up. Yeah, I'm sure sometime within the next 4, 5, 6 years, I'll post another video. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. Thanks, everybody.